What's up YouTube? How are you doing today? I'm Chana D, your Techno Dad, and in today's video we're going to be checking out a 9-channel AV receiver by Yamaha. It's called the RX-A2080, and we're going to get into it right after the jump. And I'm back. Now if you're new to the channel, my name is Chana and I've been a home theater enthusiast for over 25 years and I'm crazy about my sound. If you want to learn about home theater equipment like AV receivers, speakers, Blu-ray players, and audio formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, well, you've come to the right place and you should consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that bell. Alright everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Yamaha RX-A2080. And before we begin, I'd like to give a big thank you to Yamaha for sending this unit in for review, so thanks guys. And as with every video of mine, you will be getting my honest opinion about this AV receiver. So let's get into some quick stats before the unboxing. The RX-A2080 comes in at $15.99 and has a power rating of 140 watts per channel into 8 ohms with 2 channels driven. It supports 9-channel speaker configurations like 5.2.4 and 7.2.2 for Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. As for HDR pass-through, it supports HDR10, Dolby Vision, and HLG. Another cool feature are the dual ESS Saber DACs. Alright, that's enough talking. Let's go see what's in the box. Oh yeah. Alright, first thing we come across is the instructions and other literature. AM antenna, YPOW calibration mic, 2-prong IEC power cable, FM antenna, remote control. The texture on the bottom and the top are really nice and it lights up. 2 AAA batteries for the remote. This plastic piece is meant for the advanced YPOW setup, which I'll check out in another video. Once we get the AVR on the table, we can see the front panel is very sleek with only a few buttons and knobs. On the left we have the main zone power and input selection knob. In the middle we have a large LED display, and below that we have a large fold-down panel. To the right we have a pure direct button above the volume knob. Let's fold down this panel and take a closer look. Starting on the left we have setup, option, and help keys along with controls to navigate through the menu system. Next to that we have an AI key that toggles surround AI on and off. A straight key which toggles the straight direct mode on and off. And program keys to select through different sound modes and decoding. At the bottom we have a USB jack, a YPOW mic jack for speaker calibration, 1/4 inch headphone jack, and an RCA analog input. Above that we have 4 scene keys which allow you to quickly change input and various other settings with one touch. Below we have 4 zone keys which allow you to operate multiple zones. Next we have the info button, which is what you'll need to press to change the front display of the AVR. A lot of people, including myself, like to see what audio decoding is being used with the current content. The rest of the keys, memory, FM AM, preset tuning, all relate to setting up your over-the-air radio stations. Alright, that's it for the front panel. Let's swing this around, check out the back. The back panel is laid out in a very logical way and doesn't look too complicated at all. Let's start on the left with the audio inputs. First we have 3 audio inputs plus a phono stage. The audio inputs do have both analog and digital with RCA, 2 optical, and 1 coaxial input. Next to that we have 4 analog AV inputs with 2 coaxial and 1 optical digital audio input. Below that section we have the 2 antenna jacks. Next to the analog RCA inputs we have the RCA pre-out section. Above that we have component video inputs. And at the very top we have our HDMI ins and outs. We get 7 inputs and 3 outputs to be precise. If you want to use the audio return channel or ARC, you're going to be needing to use HDMI 1. HDMI output 3 is designated for use with zone 2 through 4. Next to HDMI 3 we have a network jack. Below we have 2 trigger outputs, remote in and out, and an RS-232C terminal. Along the very bottom we have 11 speaker terminals, but keep in mind this AVR will only power 9 channels. If you are planning on setting up a 5.2.4 Atmos system, you're going to connect your front height speakers to these terminals on the far right labeled F presence, and your rear height speakers to the pair of terminals labeled R presence next to the center channel terminal. The surround back terminals will not be connected. If you are going to run a 7.2.2 setup, you will connect your surround back speakers to the surround back terminals and use the front presence terminals for your height channels. The rear presence terminals will not have anything connected to them. Alright, let's get this thing fired up, and before I run YPOW, let's make sure we have the speakers set up for 5.1.4. If you're curious about the speakers I'm using, Martin Logan sent me a 5.0 setup consisting of 4 Motion 4-eyes for fronts and rears and a Motion 8-eye center. Pressing the gear button on the remote gets us into the setup menu. We need to select speaker and then go into power amp assign. As you can see here, basic is what we need for both a 5.2.4 and 7.2.2 configuration. The A2080 will automatically detect either your surround back or your rear height channels, and that's pretty cool. Going down the list you can see you have lots of options if you need a specific configuration. For my setup, we don't need to do anything else in this situation. Just keep it on basic and run YPOW. To do this, we need to plug the YPOW mic into the mic jack behind the flip down panel on the front of the AVR. If you want to take measurements from a single location, just click start. If you want to measure from multiple listening positions, select multi-measure. If you want to take angle and height measurements, you can select this option here as well. I'm just going to do the basic single measurement, but I will check out these during my full review period. Once YPOW is done, you can check out the measurement results before saving. Now if everything's not perfect, it's all good. You can go ahead and save it at this point and then make adjustments later on in the setup menu. I noticed it read both rear prime elevation speakers as large, so I'll go in and change that to small. Now I will play around with the crossovers as the Martin Logan speakers are small, and I'll need to figure out where is going to be the best crossover point for them. They dip down to 80 Hz, so I may cross them over at 90 instead of 80. And like I said, I'll play around with that and other features during the full review period. Okay, so first impressions of the RX-A2080 is that it's a very nice AVR with a lot of features. I'll be going through it during my review period and giving you a full review in about a month, including my thoughts on the new Surround AI. As far as Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, everything worked as it should and was very immersive. The one thing I didn't like was having to jack the volume up to -10 dB to get that desired room-filling sound. My room is over 4,000 cubic feet in volume, so I may need a bit more power. Anyway, if you have any questions for me about this AVR or want me to check out something specific, please let me know down in the comments below or on whichever social platform you like to use the most. Again, I'd like to thank Yamaha for sending this AVR over for me to review, and that's pretty much it for this video. So if you liked it, go ahead, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chana D. I am your Techno Dad, and I'll see you next time.